Hello everyone, this is Lutfur, course coordinator of GSBS 6002 Foundation of Business Analysis. In this video, I will be giving you a brief overview on Assignment 1. First of all of you know that Assignment 1 is writing a research proposal and designing a questionnaire. And this assignment carries 25% of the total the marks of the course, and the assignment is due on Sunday, 14 October 2018. The maximum word length of this assignment is 2000 words. However, you don't need to be too much worried about a couple of hundred more or less. The assignment needs to be submitted as a soft copy via Turnitin, and you cannot submit the assignment in any other form. There is also a penalty for late submission. So by this time, all of you know that the assignment is on a case study on Australian departmental stores. Australian departmental stores have been struggling against their online competitors in the recent years, and Australian departmental stores' performance have been very poor in the recent years. As a result, the executive team of the Departmental Store Association has decided to conduct a research to find out what are the values the customers are looking from conventional departmental stores compared to their online rivals. And your role is a researcher to conduct a research to find out these values. So in this assignment, you will be asked to write down a research proposal on how the research will be conducted to find out the values customers are looking for in conventional stores compared to their online competitors. So the requirement is you need to write down a full-fledged research proposal, and your research proposal should have the following components: problem statement, purpose of the research, research design, including the design of a questionnaire, sample design, data collection, processing and analysis, budget and timeline, dummy tables, and last of all, references. So let me provide a brief guideline on each of these sections. First of all, problem statement or background. In this section, you should clearly write down what the research issue is or the background of the research issue. The problem statement should finish with writing a very clear decision statement. If you can remember, we learned it earlier, the decision statement is the key research question that the research will be answering. So a background of the case, highlighting the problems, and then a clear decision statement. These are the contents of the first section. The next section is a research proposal. The purpose of the research. And you know that this is a very important part of the research proposal because you need to very clearly write down the purpose of the research. We already have seen key research issue, finding out the values customers are looking for from conventional stores as compared to online competitors. So based on this key research issue, you first can write down a major purpose of the research, and then this major purpose or objective can be segregated into some specific research objectives. For example, let's say you are examining student satisfaction regarding a university. So if your major objective is the level of student satisfaction measure, then a specific objective can be measuring student satisfaction regarding different services provided by university. For example, student satisfaction regarding library services, student satisfaction regarding accommodation, regarding research facilities, regarding lecture quality, tuition fees, and so on. If these are the specific objectives, then all the specific objectives should contribute to achieving the overall objective of the research. The next section is research design, including the design of a questionnaire. In this section, you should write down in detail how the research will actually be conducted. Keep it in mind that whatever approach or method you take in research design, you need to justify why it has been chosen. For example, if you say that you will be choosing an exploratory research, a causal research, or a descriptive research, write down why. Then if you say that you will be doing a survey research, justify why. Because survey research is not the only research approach in this world. When you write down questionnaire, briefly write down what will be your mode of survey. For example, will you be doing a telephone survey or an internet survey? What are the advantages or disadvantages for the mode you choose? And why do you think that's the best way of doing the things in your case? Also, when you draw your questionnaire or write down your questions, choose a particular type of wording of question and write down why do you choose that. For example, if you write down open-ended questions or closed-ended questions or mix of them, briefly write down why did you choose the particular type of questions. So the main point is you need to choose the research approaches or research methods and then need to be sufficiently justified. This should be the theoretical justification and also empirical justification. Theoretical justification means you theoretically write down why did you choose that. For example, if you choose internet survey, let's say that this is less expensive. Additionally, you also need to provide empirical or academic justification. Academic justification is providing citations from previous research articles. The next is sample design. In this section, you should first write down your target population. Who are your target population? Whom will you be surveying? Whom will you be asking questions? From the target population, you need to write down sampling frame. Sampling frame means from target population, how would you define your specific population that you will be researching on? Then what will be your sample? How would you select the sample size? Please come up with a specific sample size, for example, 500, 1000, 5000, whatsoever, and provide appropriate justification that why do you choose this sample size and why do you think that this sample size is sufficient. Write down your sampling technique. We will be discussing about different sampling technique. For example, random sampling, non-random sampling, and so on. Specifically write down what sampling technique will be chosen and why. So next is data collection, processing, and analysis. This section basically has three subsections. First, data collection. In this subsection, you should write down who will be collecting data, how much supervision will be needed to collect data. Then in processing, once the data is collected, you need to write down how will you be processing the data. For example, how will you get rid of any data inconsistencies, any omissions, how will you be coding data, storing data, and so on. And after the processing, in analysis, you need to write down how will you analyze data, what statistical techniques will be used, and how this analysis will be contributing to achieving research objective. The next section is budget and timeline. This is also important part. You should provide a hypothetical budget and a hypothetical timeline. Although they are hypothetical, they should be reasonable. Budget and timeline should be segregated into different stages of research. For example, research design, data collection, data analysis, report writing, and so on. So you need to write down how much cost you are expecting for each of these stages and how much time will you allocate for each of these stages. Budget and timeline should be represented in tabular form. Then dummy tables. You should create some dummy tables with some hypothetical result. These are called dummy. The purpose of dummy table is to let your audience know that this is how your actual results will look like and this is how the actual results will contribute to solving your business problem. You should prepare some tables and that should be filled up with some hypothetical results. Keep it in mind that although you fill up your dummy tables with hypothetical results, these results should be consistent with your questionnaire as well as your research design. For example, if you are presenting some results derived from a statistical technique such as regression analysis, but in your research design section you have never mentioned that regression analysis would be used, it means that the dummy table is not consistent with your research design. Another example is, let's say you prepare a dummy table regarding overall customer satisfaction, how much the percentage of the customers are satisfied. But in questionnaire design, you did not have any question relating to this overall customer satisfaction. It means that this dummy table is not consistent with your question. So this is how dummy table should be prepared. Finally, references. It is expected that you support your discussion, your research design, your sample design, etc. with appropriate citations. Citations from previous published articles, and list these citations in the reference list at the end of the research proposal. And in preparing the reference list, you should follow American Psychological Association APA 6th edition. So in summary, these are the instructions and expectations about the research proposal writing. However, if you have any specific questions, you are welcome to post that in a group discussion board. Also, feel free to send me emails if you have any query relating to any of the sections. Thank you very much and best of luck.